Hey guys, so this is still working on the first week of going through all of my decks, and I would say that maybe I bit off more than I could chew because these are all decks. I mean, not really, because I'm doing it. I'm doing the work, but it's a lot. So if you have a bigger collection like myself, because I have like a little over 600 decks, then take your time. Maybe if you have several shelves, maybe do one shelf at a time or something like that, because it can be overwhelming and it will take over. So these are all decks that I've gone through that they are going bye-bye and they are going to my sister's. She's taking them, and there's like 39, 40 decks here. And some of the decks that I thought were going are not going. I'm going to keep them for now. And these are all the ones that are still going that I know of. There's still some that I'm going to go through and do because they're like on the line. I don't know. So some of them are still questionable, which are my more valuable decks. And do I really want to get rid of them yet? Maybe not. And maybe it should be more the mass market, but we will see. We will see. But that is, I know the vast majority of these are going, but there's a few that are still in question. So that's where I'm at in this. And I'm still, as I move stuff around, I mean, I still have a lot, right? But I'm making space for more stuff. Able to condense it a little bit differently. So I'm just trying to move stuff over. If these will fit, I might end up putting all the candles and stuff over here and all of my decks using this shelf for like decks and stuff and or books. Because honestly, what I would like to do on this over here, sorry if I'm moving too fast, I would like this whole thing to be just all books. So I'd like to get all these that are staying for now, all of the oracles moved over into that shelving area. And then I can relieve some of the books that I have over there and bring them over here. So it's all a work in progress, but that's where I'm at right at this moment. Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So we are in week 2 of the Spring Cleaning with Rachele hashtag for the month of April. And I'm not done because I do want to make some more adjustments on my shelves, but I do have the top shelf all emptied from the decks that I had up there. And so now these are all guidebooks, to some of the decks that I have. That's all the Seasons of the Witch. So I repurposed this shelf. And of course you guys seen from my March Reflections, this new edition, right? So I still want to paint this like a dark brown. It's just a matter of when we have the time, when the weather's good enough to pull it outside and do it. But let me get over here. These are what I'm keeping at this point. A little bit of reorganizing. Right? So these are all, and that's the bottom shelf down there. These are all oracles on this shelf. This whole bookcase is all oracles. This one, I have a couple pulled out because I'm getting ready to do a walkthrough and some pairings for one of the decks. But these are all tarot. So I'm still working through. These are not all tarot. These are all going. These are all for sure, yes, going bye-bye. And I had about 50, maybe a little bit more than that. But my sister and my niece visited yesterday, and they took home about 50, maybe 55 decks altogether between them, which I'm so grateful for. Yeah, this process has not been as grueling as I thought it was going to be. And I have a large collection. I have over 600 decks. Now I have about 550 decks. And as soon as these are all gone, I'll probably have close to 500 decks, which is still a huge collection, right? But, and I don't know why this bookcase, it's something with the light. That's Oliver. So, and also because I have a couple out of here for the walkthrough also. But this is what I have so far for organization down here. So, like I said, I do have more space. I could get rid of other stuff, but I don't want to. I don't want all of my space being taken up by tarot decks and oracle decks. I want also books in my space and witchy supplies and all that good stuff, right? So, I mean, there's very few left on this one. And I want to get some of these out of here. I want to get all the decks out of here, reorganize all this, and make it for like all my witchy supplies and stuff like that. And then move all that over here. So that's still what I'm working on. I even cleared off some of this. So I'm thinking I still maybe want to get rid of this. Send it along somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, I do use it, but gosh, it's so big and it takes up so much space. So I'm perfectly happy with the small one, and I like the natural look better. So this, other than dusting, it's pretty organized. And like in here, this is all like incense. I do have more decks down here. Those are all giveaways. And so like in these baskets down here, it's like there's candles and more herbs and more herbs down in that as well. So I got a lot of stuff. And I reorganized this area, bought a couple more of these baskets. So all those baskets are, you know, housing, that kind of stuff. But I got rid of a lot of the decks that were along here. These are all the decks that I got to do interviews for, because I'm not sure whether or not they're staying or going. And so that's where I'm at. So I'm going to be doing the spread here in a minute. Okay, so I have all the lights off so that you can more easily see this. But we are moving into the second week of the work. So let's go to the second week. And I have the spread. So this is the spread. It's a 5-card spread. First one is area or areas that need renewal. What obstacles need facing. How best can you face them? Why do you need this now? And future growth comes from this? Question mark. So let me put this back over on the side. Let me turn on my lights, and I'm going to show you the decks I'm working with. Okay, so the decks that I'm working with, this one here is the Mystic Fairy Tarot by Linda Ravenscroft and text by Barbara Moore. And this is the Ostara Magic Oracle cards that I have done over on, or that are available over on Make Playing Cards. So, one of my releases. So, let's just dig right in. Let me put these aside. I'm going to draw one from each one like I did the last time. And so the first question is area or areas that need renewal. So let me shuffle this a couple of times. I wanted to use my Ostara because, well, both of these, because they feel very spring to me. Ostara, of course, but the Mystic Fairy Tarot is just like the perfect colors for spring. And, you know, the sunshine, bringing in new growth and renewal. And with the spread being really about that, and because that's what we're doing is spring cleaning, it just seemed right. All right. So, what area or areas need renewal? No. How appropriate, right? Queen of Pentacles. So, for me, this is all about my items, my physical items, and me feeling a sense of like calm and happiness, gratitude, graciousness in what I already have, right? Recognizing and appreciating what I have. Being like a very grounded and earthy approach to what I've been doing. So that makes sense. Let's see. You know, not holding on. So that renewal for me is letting go of the things that just really I don't need, that are just weighing me down. All right, so let me do this. What areas need renewal? What area or areas need renewal? Let's see if this will even be the right kind of deck for it. Come on. There we go. Sunlit path. Follow the golden rays. The light can illuminate your true path and direction in life. Yes. So for me, this is all about following what feels right to me. And this was something that I didn't necessarily want to do because it's a lot of work, right? And it's also a lot of like, you know, like I showed in my video, a lot of like this. Do I really want to? But knowing that it was something that I really needed to do in order to feel that renewal, in order to like cleanse and make way for new growth. The only way I felt like I could do that with the emerging sun is to just go with what feels right. Go with my gut, right? And I knew that I needed to do this cleaning. Not that I wanted to, but I needed to. And that's what my gut was telling me. And there might even be more down the road. We'll see. At this point, as soon as I can get rid of the decks for sure that are going, I feel like there's going to be a lot less on my shoulders. And I know that that might sound really weird, right? It definitely might. But the items that you have sometimes can just carry a lot of clutter. And I don't mean physical clutter, I mean mental clutter. And that's what I am feeling, is a little bit of mental clutter from almost like feeling guilty because these were the decks that I did not, you know, travel towards. These were the decks that I always had something else that I wanted to pick. So anyways, let me move on. I'm sorry. I am so wordy. My goodness, I'm so wordy. Okay, so second question, what obstacles need facing? Oh, what obstacles? And can I make this a little bit smaller? There we go. So I can put this up a little bit. What obstacles need facing? Aw, the candle just blew out. Take the top one. Knave of Wands. And let me just move that out of the way now then. I think the Knave I think that's the page. Am I right? Yes, it is. I had to look through and see if there was a night. So what was it? What obstacles need facing? Maybe the idea that the next best thing around the corner is the next best thing instead of looking at what I already have, right? Yes. So, youthful energy, especially wands, is very, they're very vivacious and curious and excitable and impressionable, and maybe they make rash decisions sometimes. And I don't want to say that that is a wrong thing. I don't think it's a wrong thing. But now that I have looked at my collection, and some of these decks were decks that I've had for a while. Some of these decks were decks that were sent to me for review that I wanted to reach for. But if I was truly being honest with myself, not this what could be in the future, this new adventure with it, but really honest with myself, I knew which ones for certain were going to go, and that in order for me to make room for new growth, I had to get out of this energy, this youthful, enthusiastic, ooh, what kind of adventures could I have with it? I mean, I still don't think that's a bad thing, but I think that it can be overly emphasized and not in a balanced state. So, what obstacles need facing? So let's do this one. What obstacles need facing? What obstacles need facing? So, my impulsive side, right? I need to stop focusing on how impulsive I can be, or start looking at how impulsive I can be. And I'd like to think that I'm not, but when you look at a collection that's 600, yeah, it's probably impulsive. Come on, give me a card. What obstacles need facing? What obstacles need facing? All right, let's see. Gosh, it's so beautiful. I'm just going to take the top because that's what I do. So I don't want to overburden myself with too much. Okay, so cleansing rains. Wash away the old with Mother Nature. She renews the spirit through every drop. Yes. So the obstacles that I need facing was just that I really needed to clean house, right? I need to do that in my whole house, but especially in my mental area, because I do want to get back to nature also. Meaning, last year was really rough for me because for March, April, May, and June, I was really struggling with being able to walk, and my hands were tore up, and everywhere I go, I was using a walker because of the pain. You know the story if you've been here long enough. So I didn't do gardening. It was a struggle to get to the pool, to be able to get up and down the steps without something to be able to, it was just, everything was a struggle last year. And this year, I really want to be able to, enjoy the pool more without the struggle of being able to get down the stairs, get into the pool, then try to get myself up out of the pool. Because when you're coming up out of the pool, it feels like how much you're lighter weight, and then you step out of it and it's like all the weight comes back down on you, right? And they're big steps. So it was just a lot. And I didn't get to do any planting or anything. This year, I really, really, really want to. So in order for me to do that, I need to cleanse away all of the other stuff. get the mental clutter, which also means finishing my projects that I'm working on so that I can really have the mental space to just enjoy what Mother Nature provides for me. I'm sorry, I'm getting really wordy. Okay, so the next question is, how best can I face them? Oh, how best can I face them? So advice for the best ways of facing them, right? How best can I face these obstacles? How best can I face these obstacles? Because even though I'm saying that this has been a much easier process, it might not be an easier process. Not everybody has the size collection that I do. So it didn't seem like quite such a sacrifice to get rid of a little over 100 decks for me, because I've still got 500 other decks. But for you, you might have 30 decks and you're just trying to, even get rid of a few of them. If you're even getting rid of them. If not, it could be other areas of your life. Maybe a room that has built up so much other crafts and stuff like that you wanted to get to and you never did. So the spread is in that context, right? Because it doesn't have to be just deck. And it could be something that is a very difficult, because change can be very difficult. Sorry. So how best can I face them? How best? Oh, there we go. Knight of Cups. To me, that is just forging ahead with my feelings, allowing my feelings, right? Moving towards my true feelings, allowing the process. How best can I face them? Yes. Asking myself the hard questions, like, if I haven't used this, why am I still holding on to it? Is there sentimental reasons? It's like the Mary Kondo. I believe that's her name, Mary Kondo. Is it something that you feel that you have to hold on to for sentimental reasons? If so, okay. If not, why? Why are you still holding on to it? What is that feeling, right? How best can I face them? Come on, give me a card. Come on. Okay, there we go. Equinox meditation. During this balanced time, pause to reflect. Clarity comes in moments of stillness. Yes. Reflection. So in the next week, we're going to be doing the spreads for the ones that are in question, or the spread for the ones that are in question. So like kind of interviewing, should you stay or should you go kind of thing. And if you go, what does it look like? If you stay, what does it look like? That kind of stuff. So that makes perfect sense. So the next one is, why do I need this now? 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 Why do I need this? Oops. About ready to play 78 card pickup, right? All right. Let me put these back in here. And our card is, why do I need this now? Yes. Yes. Gosh. Five of Pentacles. I feel like the Five of Pentacles is very much about that lack mentality, right? But it can also be because we are not appreciating what we really have. And when I started this process and I started going through and really taking stock of what I had, I mean, I've got goosebumps. I literally, and my hair is sticking up. I don't know if you can see that. I've got goosebumps because it made me really realize how friggin' fortunate I am and how grateful. I mean, I say that I'm grateful, and I am grateful. I have a grateful practice, but until you take stock sometimes, until you go back to the basics, we forget. We have to be reminded. I have to be reminded of just how much plenty I have and how much I have been provided for, and how incredibly generous the universe has been to me, and that my husband has been to me, and my friends, and just the ability to really be able to just shop your shelves, right? And not need anything new, or just getting rid of what just doesn't serve in order to make room for something new that's coming in that might just be fabulous. But then there's this heaviness that comes over you, well, I had this deck. I don't know, because I feel like if I get this new deck, then I'm going to be neglecting the old deck. But the newer deck really looks like something more that I would use, right? So then you kind of feel guilty. I do. So really, I needed it because it helped me put my items and my room and everything back into perspective. God, I am wordy. I'm so sorry, you guys. Just fast forward through this if you don't like it. All right, so why did I need this now? Why do we ever need renewal of anything, right? Just to refresh us. But why is it so important? And why do I need this now? That one wanted to come out. Grazing lambs. Embrace the pure innocence and joy of the moment. It can bring about great healing. Yes. Yes. In this moment, I am so grateful. I am so grateful for everything. I am grateful for my collection and grateful for my ability to be able to pass on some of these items to people that are going to get way more use out of them than what I did, right? And grateful for what remains. Grateful for being able to reorganize things, because I do love to reorganize, right? I'm just in a pure state of joy and gratitude. And when I watch other people doing their and I know this is going to sound kind of weird, but when I watch other people also taking stock of what they have, cleaning their shelves and shopping their shelves and reorganizing, that is like one of my kinks, I love watching reorganization and small homes. I like watching small home stuff like tiny home living because they are so creative with their storage solutions, right? I just love it. And it's all beautiful. I don't know what it is. I just love it. I've always loved it. So let's do the last questions. So the fact that I've got people that are joining me in this, and then they're showing me their before and afters, makeovers of their rooms and their spaces, it just is everything to me, okay? I'm serious. I love it. I love it so much. So, future growth comes from this. Future growth comes from this. What does future growth come from? Show me what future growth comes from. Okay, I'm going to take the top. Oh, yes. Yes. Celebrate, right? It's gratitude and happiness and being able to join in with others in something that is so not simple, but so profound, right? Something as simple as doing some spring cleaning. And it doesn't have to be your decks. It does not have to be. It can be anything. It can be your crystal collection. It can be your books. It can be anything. Knickknacks that you have, right? Tools, crafty items that you're just not going to do anymore. And if it's not, well, taking stock of, but if it's not giving away, because spring cleaning doesn't have to mean giving away or anything. It's just maybe reorganizing and cleaning and appreciating what you have, right? Because it puts us all in a different frequency. And that we can do that together, yeah, that is where growth comes. We are allowing that growth. Where we put our gratitude, where we put our focus, that's what the universe says, okay, that's what they like, so let's give them more of that, right? Exactly. Future growth comes from, and I'm just doing one last card for here. I'm sorry, I know I am so excitable. It makes me giddy. But this whole process, although it has been a little bit daunting, a little bit, it's not been as bad as I thought it was going to be. It does make me giddy. And once I get all of those other decks out of here, whew, yes. I'm just like grinning so big. One last card. Future growth comes from here. Where does future growth come from? Can you show me where future growth comes from? Rivers flow. Go with the current flow. Trust that it leads you to where you need to be in this moment. Exactly. Anything. Listen, if you're getting so much resistance, for me, if I'm getting so much resistance, that's not what I should be doing, right? Sometimes, like I just said, wherever we put our joy and our happiness, and that's where we should always go. I don't think that there's anything ever wrong in that. Even if there's lessons in that, it was something that we needed to go through. So right now, with this is what I need to go through, allowing the process, being in the process, and having fun and joy and gratitude and sharing in with others. That's where growth comes from, right? Being in the now, appreciating the things that we have in our lives, rather than, well, this lack mentality. I don't have this, I don't have that. No, you've got so much more. We just have to open our eyes and see it. So this is what this process is doing for me. It's really opening my eyes and showing me what I do have. And I got goosebumps, you guys. Thank you for joining me on this process. This was hashtag Spring Cleaning with Rachele. And this is week number 2. And I am sending you my love always.